When Abraham started his life, if Abraham was told that he was going to be the father of many nations, will he believe? But he started his life serving God. He started his life doing the will of God, and nobody knew that God was going to turn the life, the situation of Abraham to something else. What about Jacob? What about Isaac? They just served God with the fear of God. On their own, from their hearts, they loved God, they served God, they believed Him, and they continue to serve God. And they continue that way until God showed up in their lives. Now understand, we don't serve God for the benefit we're going to get from God. We serve God because God is one. It's God. We don't give because we're going to receive from God. We give because we love Him. And in Him we are blessed. We don't worship Him because there are things we're going to benefit from Him or get from Him. We worship Him for who He is. He is God. Angel Gabriel came to Mary. Did Mary know that Angel Gabriel was going to come to her that day? But she was faithful. She kept serving God. She kept herself pure. She kept loving God. Even when she was against to. When they sought her hand in marriage, she never went into fornicating with a man. She feared God. She was waiting for everything to be sealed until she would get herself into the house of the man. God uses common situations to weave in His what? His glory. In my own life, if I tell you sometimes the way God comes to me, it baffles me in my own life, personal life. But when I started, I just saw Him. I just saw Him as a great God. When I became born again, I was just serving God on my own. Anything bad, anything evil, I don't want to soil my hand, I want to soil myself. I was just loving Him. Even when at the time there was no food to eat, there was nothing in the house, no money in the pocket, I was still serving Him, I was still loving Him. When there was no place to put my head, I had to sport with somebody, I didn't deny God. And I told us last Sunday, our faith must be tested. Our love for God must be what? Tested. Our faithfulness to God must be what? Tested. Must be tried. Don't be discouraged. Don't be daunted by circumstances or situations of life. Don't allow your surrounding to define you. Don't allow your background to define you. Don't allow anything to define you. Let God map out the definition of your life. And your responsibility, your duty is to find out who you are in this God. Does God fail? So also, your life cannot fail. Does God disappoint? So there will be no disappointment in your life. Is God a great God? Those who serve Him also must be great. When God shows up in a man's life. Like that song that says, when you see a man that is blessed by God, you will see His glory all over him. When you see a man that is loved by God, you will see His glory all over him. When you see a man that is blessed by God, you will see His glory all over him. When you see a man that is favored by God, you will see His beauty all over him. And then you will know. And then you know the God Himself is not a joker. And then you know the God Himself is not a scam. When you see somebody that loves God, is not looking at the surrounding, is not looking at the circumstances, is not looking whether there are that, everything has been arranged for him. What is he looking at? He's looking at the glory of God that is inside him. That is what he sees. That power, that radiating power, that radiating force, that glow that comes from his heart, that comes from our heart. All the men and women that God has blessed so far today in human history, in the history of the Bible, name them, all of them. They never serve God with hope of getting anything. They serve God with the whole of their life.